So y'all, hello. Hope y'all doing alright. I'm doing okay. Um, so one of my longtime subscribers, Drown Deep, shouts out to you. Love him. Um, he asked me to review this conversation that was between Tami Roman and the TS darling, TS Madison. And it was on Fox Soul. And recently, Tammy's daughter, the youngest one, Jazz Anderson, she came out to the world, and in which I'm just so coming out is just such a annoying thing to me, um, because it's like straight people don't have to come out. So why do people in the LGBTQIA community have to come out? When really, when people come out, oftentimes they're treated worse than when they are in the closet. It's like you would prefer for me, you know it seems to be in the closet, sneak hide about it, because now that I came out, I'm being treated some kind of way, which is odd. You would think the person that's upfront and honest about who they are, that you would respect more, but no. Mm-mm. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. So I'm gonna play. You're gonna hear some snippets of Tami talking herself, and then Tami with Madison, and so they're just gonna have an open conversation, and a lot of interesting things that are said in here, but not really, because it's things I've heard before, things I know about, things I've experienced. It's just certain talk that I'm not used to. So here we go. Oh God, I'm always dropping stuff. Shouts out to Fox Soul. I do not own the rights to any of this, and so yeah. Here we go, honey child. I'm gonna be doing this a little bit, but not so much, because my hand will fall off. Okay, so it's Tami talking first.
You never stop. You had to get into. Oh, we didn't need to see it, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And this one is really important to me because even at my age, and I just turned 51 this past weekend, you never stop growing and learning and evolving. And I wanted to sit down and have a real conversation and be educated on how I, as a parent, could support my child who has recently come out as a member of the LGBTQ community. My daughter Jazz. And
beautiful. She's lovely.
If I'm being completely honest, before I sit down with a
very pretty girl, I've seen her before. Yes.
who's a friend of mine, a colleague of
Tami
mine.
has two daughters,
and I felt the best
Lyric
person
and Jazz,
for me to have this conversation with, because I believe in my spirit that she will approach it from a standpoint of enlightening me and not judging or chastising me. I want to be educated on how to be accepting of the lifestyle my daughter has chosen, when that's not a lifestyle that I particularly grew up being accepting of.
A lifestyle that my daughter has chosen. So she chose this route. She chose more hurdles to jump over. On top of just being a black woman, she chose to be in the community. Okay.
you know, what I want people to understand before we get into this conversation is a part of the education process is being able to acknowledge what the issue is. And for me, this is definitely an issue within our family that I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to understand my own thoughts, understand my daughter's thoughts, and then see how we can come together to bridge the gap on this particular topic. And I think it's going to be a really good conversation. I think you guys
Bridge the gap.
some of you
There's
are
nothing
going
to
to
bridge.
relate to what I'm going
It's your
through.
daughter.
Others, of course, are going to have a difference of opinion. But I feel like the conversation is something that needed to be had. And I'm excited about bringing that to you on my very first episode of Get Into It. So you guys have got to stick around, because when we return, woman talk show host, and she's offering some insight to me on our topic today. So stay tuned, because that's coming up next. Content, please subscribe to their YouTube channel and make sure that you hit the notification bell. I could not think of anyone other than this person to have this conversation with. The amazingly talented woman who wears many hats, and she's known for her popular online gossip talk show, The Queen's Supreme Court. Please welcome the star of WeTV's The T.S. Madison Experience, my boo, T.S. Madison.
Yes, God, honey. It is Tami Roman, baby. The girl, you better watch if her shoes is off and a cigarette in her mouth. She ain't gonna play with you. Hi, Tami.
I'm never gonna live that down.
You know what, Tami? But that's what has me attached to you. That's what has me
Maddie looks great, by the way.
love you, because that's so much of me, and it's just real. Like I'm from a place where you have to put down and stand down, and when they see my shoes off, they better know they done messed up.
Yeah. And you know what? People don't know that I do a show with a comedian named Miss Pat, and you came and guest starred on our show. Right in, you jumped right in, and I knew, when after that day was bisexual, right?
Luckily, I've always been very honest with myself and with my mom, so I have no qualms about being honest with you guys on the mix.
So pretty.
I thought it was necessary for me to do so that someone doesn't have to try to say my truth for me.
Amen.
So I am bisexual. I do look at myself as a bisexual female in 2020. I've been with females and I've been with males. So for me, it's like I'm not going to let anybody call me a lesbian, because I do like guys. And if I ever am looking and I meet a great guy in the future, I'm definitely down to date him, as I've dated other guys in the past.
And for not trying to sound like I'm not supportive.
And being bisexual is a thing. Oftentimes people try to pull you one way or the other. I used to think, and I still battle with that sometimes, people who are truly bisexual. Because I just always thought there's one sex that you like more than the other one. There's one gender that you like more than the other. That's just what I've always thought. But no, there are truly some people who are bi out there. A good bit of people who are bi. And it's fine. And it should be no issue. It's definitely difficult. It's definitely more difficult being a bisexual man than it is being a bisexual woman. It's definitely taken more if a man is bisexual, and let's say that a man had a intercourse with a guy years ago. He realized it wasn't for him, and then he's just been with women since. When people find out that fact, that he had a dealings with a guy back in the day or whatever, they're going to consider him gay for the rest of his life. And he's obviously not. He experimented like many women do, but men are not allowed to experiment in that kind of way. And the black thing on top of it, ooh, child, please. And oftentimes, we see bisexuality in women all the time. We see it all on reality television. women kissing each other and rolling around in the bed, and it's seen as hot, and it's fun and it's sexy. And there's a flip side to that too. Oftentimes, bisexual or gay women are seen as jokes or not. They're not serious when there are some real life, just straight up, bisexual women or lesbian women who are proud about who they are and who are not playing around. There's some women who don't want nothing to do with a man, but men being ego driven and being misogynistic and just being a-holes a lot of times and thinking everybody want them, they don't take that seriously. Oh, I could take both of y'all and whoop to whoop, or I'll take your bitch and everything. Y'all know how me, child. So it's definitely mess on both sides, but I definitely stand by the fact that it is more acceptable to be a bisexual woman than it is a bisexual man. Not trying to downplay jazz or anything else, but I just wanted to say that it was on my spirit. So let's continue.
And her living her truth. But I really want advice on how, as a parent, do I do that when that's not what I was brought up on? That's
who is brought up on it. Who is, especially being black. A lot of this does just go back to how we were taught and what we were taught. There's such a shame in the black community being gay. In my opinion, everything goes back to slavery. It's shame there, because of everything that we've been through, everything that our oppressors put us through when it comes to that and making us do certain sexual acts and all kinds of stuff. So it's deep, but it's 2021. It's definitely time for a change. Let's continue.
You know what I'm saying, that I was familiar with, and I'm still trying to educate myself and learn about the LGBT community.
So here's my question to you first, Tami. How did you feel? Like, what were your first
okay,
real emotions?
I know where you're going in.
Maddie got good internet connection, child. You can barely hear Tami. Maddie, you hear loud and clear. I want those earrings, Madison.
That's what I want us to do, is have a real conversation about this. And I in no way want to come off as homophobic, because I'm not, right? But in all honesty,
here we go.
I cried. I was hurt. And I want to go on record as saying, as a mother, I believe that there are other mothers out there. Like, people can't try to act like it's just me, but that wasn't what I envisioned for my daughter. Like, when any mother is pregnant with a son, she doesn't say, I want my son to be a gay male. When she has a daughter, she doesn't say, I want my daughter to be a lesbian. You hope that if that's their truth, that you're able to love them, and still have a relationship and a rapport with them. And there are some mothers out there that don't, right? I was the kind of mother that does. But at the same time, I was hurt. I was like, this is not what I envisioned. I wanted her to have a husband and kids and all this other stuff. And then I felt like she selfishly threw a monkey wrench in my plans.
Wow. I love the honesty, though. I do. And Tami is thinking a lot of things that a lot of parents would think. Threw a monkey wrench in my plans. This is not what I envisioned for your life. Is Jazz out there selling drugs? Is Jazz out there selling her body? Is Jazz out there in jail, in and out of jail? Is Jazz out there beating up people in the middle of the street like you used to do, Tami? Is Jazz on a reality show acting a fool, showing out, like you used to do, Tami? I love Tami, but we gotta keep it straight up gutter. I'm sure your mama, Tami, God rest her soul, I'm sure she did not envision your life in that kind of way either. I'm sure she didn't envision you didn't take the route I'm sure your mama wanted you to take. And the same with her mama, and whoop to whoop. Like, and what does that mean? Like, so what? It's not that big.
I love the way that you use the word that she selfishly did that. Okay. I want to put this into your head of thinking. Um, when we come out as people, human beings, we already have a script that's laid out for us. The script is, this is your name. This is what you need to do in life. This is where you should live. You should go to college. You should, like, you already have like this whole list of
It's
things.
outlined what your parents, and mostly it's your parents who put those guidelines on you.
And your parents put those guidelines on you, and society also
Society
places
as
these
well.
guidelines. So all of this stuff is socially constructed, you know. And when I think about things like that, I think about the Matrix. I just break it down because I don't know if you have you ever watched the movie The Matrix. So I think about it like in the Matrix place, like everybody is working on this same system until somebody says, "Hey, this is crazy. Like I don't want to walk this way. I don't want to be this way. Like I want to be me. I want to be myself. I don't want to be fed into the system." And so we come outside of that.
I have it's the phone is propped up on my lamp right now, so that's why I'm looking over here, y'all. I'm not gonna play this whole video. It's like 20 plus more minutes long, so probably gonna skip.
That are in the system still like, hey, this is me, and I'm not trying to change you from being a part of the system, but I don't want to be a part of that system.
Of that system.
Now,
Which is what I feel she was saying, like, hey, this is who I am, this is what my life is going to be, and you kind of got to wrap your head around it. But at the same time, it's like I'm trying to figure out how to support it because
well,
I wasn't raised to support that.
I know you weren't raised to support that. Like my mom wasn't raised to support it. Like majority of the black families are not raised to support that. This is why Dwayne Wade, the way he's embracing his daughter Zaya. This is why it seems like it's such an outrage. Like this is why every black person that we know, from Boosie to all the other folks that have all this stuff to say about Zaya and the way Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are raising their child.
They're very understanding. They're very supportive.
It's new.
But it's because they have embraced unconditional.
It's something that we're not used to as black people. That's not something that is the norm for us. Being gay is such a shameful thing, and still, so it's definitely not something that we're used to in terms of having two black parents that accept their young trans child as a young age. Obviously, they're letting their child make their own decision. They're just embracing their child every step of the way. There was many people comments about Zaya, who was saying that she's a child and whoop de whoop, you shouldn't let her do this and listen. Yes, kids change, and who's to say when she becomes an adult that she wants to be whatever she wants to be, but the whole point is love and loving your child through it, and just loving your child, like that's it, and monitoring your child and just being there for your kids and watching your kids just like you would do your other kids that are straight, that you think is straight. See, that's the thing. Oftentimes you think, oh, I know what my child gonna be, I know what my child gonna do, and whoop to whoop. Then they become an adult and they become or be something completely different. Don't sleep on nobody. You can't say what nobody gonna do. You just never know. You just treat them all the same. Let's continue. And P.S. If Dwayne Wade wasn't black people black celebrities in particular would care less if Dwayne had a transgender child. They would care less. They wouldn't care. But because he's black and because Dwayne Wade is seen as so many folks' hero, it's like, and like I said, this is not the norm. This is not something we're used to. And as a whole, the world has put, I don't know if it's the world, slavery, white folks, whatever it is, the church, whatever, it has put such a negative cloud over that word homophobia, that it's hard to come back from that. I hope I'm making sense, y'all. Sometimes in my brain, I'm like thinking certain stuff out, but it don't necessarily come out that way, and like vice versa. So, yeah, maybe I need my head checked. Who knows? They ain't gonna find much in there.
Well,
Now,
are you trying to say that I don't love my daughter?
no. I want you to embrace unconditional love totally. Like, you love your daughter. You're gonna always love your daughter. You're gonna fight.
And I still love my daughter.
And you're supposed to fight and all these things for your daughter, but you have to understand that. Let's say if you didn't want to go by the set of rules that were given to you, like you have to place yourself in the shoes of your daughter. That probably was something so difficult for her to tell you, because she knows that she's in an awkward place where she feels out of place from everybody else. Like, everybody else is following the system, and she doesn't want to follow that system because that's not the way she feels.
But see, listen, I feel like I love my daughter, and I feel like when she chose to come out, and she texted me this information. It's like, would you have done that to your parent? Like, how did you step into your truth with your parents and broach that conversation? Did you sit down?
That's it. She don't understand. I understand why she don't understand, but still, Tami, come on. And these people are in the entertainment industry. There's gays everywhere. But it's different when it hit close to home. It's different when it's your child, your brother, your daughter, your daddy, your mama, your auntie, your cousin. It's different then. It's like, oh, let's shook the table, Child.
I mean, like, I just.
And she sent a text message, I'm sure, A, because she wasn't comfortable telling you to your face, and B, she was scared that she probably was going to flip out on her. I mean, it's not like that would, she would be wrong in assuming that. Not saying you will. I mean, you tell me wrong, man. Stop it.
In the way that she did it, was not understanding of how I would receive it.
Well, mine was worse. My mother found out from a party. We were having a party. I think it was my 16-year-old party. And a guy was trying to fight me because his boyfriend had been talking to me. And my mother was like, what? So you have a guy that's trying to fight your child about a boy. You're like, wait. Like, so I didn't even have the opportunity to really, because he came to my party to do this. And so I didn't even have an opportunity to really tell my mom, like, Mommy, this is what's going on. This is the way I feel. I didn't have a chance to do that. So I respect your daughter for texting you, because that's a hard thing to know, that your mom, your dad is not raised this way, and you don't want to lose your parent. I didn't want to lose my mom. I was prepared to go the rest of my life as a gay man. Before I even trans, I was prepared to go the rest of my life as a gay man, move to California, become something else, write to my mom, let her never see me, like, going through transition and all this stuff. Like, I have made that decision in my mind because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to hurt my family by going against the rule. I think that we have to be more empathetic to the way that the child feels. And I know, as a trans person or a person of LBGT experience, we tend to, it seems selfish, but it's really not. I think that it's more selfish on the parents' behalf, because we have this list of things, that were given to us. We came out of the womb, and then here's this to-do list. And I think that it's unfair. I think we take control of our lives. And I want to know this, Tami. How did you feel? Were you more hurt because she said this to you, or how she was going to be treated in the world?
I'm quiet because I feel myself getting emotional, and really quickly, I want, basically, surprise, I am a member now of the LGBTQ plus community. And I'm doing that, having this very important conversation with my sister, T.S. Madison. I'd like for you guys to stay tuned.
Address it there to lift you up in any kind of way that I can.
Welcome back to Get Into It with Tami Roman. And I am chatting with my dear friend, T.S. Madison. Now, before the break, she asked me how I felt when my daughter came out to me and how that actually made me feel. And, T.S., I'm going to be honest with you. I was hurt. I felt like I had did something wrong. I felt like, did I put her in a situation or an environment where she was introduced to certain things because she had never expressed any interest, in a female?
Interesting. No shade, but I mean, as soon as I saw Jazz, I knew what time it was with her. How do you know, Tami? It's very interesting. Whatever. I ain't gonna be too shady in this moment. But I mean, sometimes you just know. I mean, fam, no fam. So I mean, but whatever. But I've been in the scene quite a while, so things just come naturally to me. But I don't know. Let me play this video.
My life hasn't always been easy. And so I've moved my kids around a lot. I have had them, be places.
I hope y'all can hear this.
That if things had been better in my life, where they wouldn't have been. And I felt like I didn't know if I had put her somewhere that introduced her to this lifestyle. And at the same time, I'm trying not to be selfish, because if this is who she is, I'm going to love her no matter what. But I'm just trying to wrap my head around this being who she is, and that's been challenging.
But Tami, this is why I asked: are you more hurt because of the way the world is going to treat her?
No, I'll fight to the ends of the earth for my daughter when it comes to the world. I'm more concerned and disappointed in how I am treating her, because I love my daughter so much. Like, I love her with all my heart. But it was very difficult. I can't, and I hate to say it like this, but because you sound like those people. It's like, I'm not racist, I have black friends. It's like, I can't be homophobic because I have so many gay friends in my family, in my team, my squad, but gay always felt like something that was over there.
Right.
In my house. And so how do I deal with it? How am I supposed to deal with it when it's something that I wasn't prepared to do?
She said it. She said exactly what we already know. What a lot of LGBTQIA, WZIP, and however many letters it is, already know. When it's gay, it's cool as long as it's not in your area. It's a lot of, for instance, a lot of straight people. A lot of straight dudes in particular, they cool with gay people as long as they're gay 30 yards away. As long as they down there prancing, down there. But don't come in here in my area prancing, because, then it's a problem. As if those prancing elites is doing anything to them. Them girls ain't even bother you. Leave them alone, But, she said it. She said it's cool as long as it's down the street. She has other gay people, she says, in her family. She has gay friends, like I said. She's in the entertainment industry. There's gays everywhere, all around. And she ain't had no problem, but they are her friends. Until her daughter is one of them. And now it's a problem. So then Tamala, you should ask yourself, do you really support these gay friends, these gay family members that you got, your gay team? Because I'm sure you got a queen somewhere in your team. You got to. So, I mean, do you really support and love those people? I know they're not your daughter. I know that's a different kind of love, but are you really standing up for those people when they go through homophobia and stuff? Or are you supporting the causes? Are you out there marching with the girls? Mm-hmm. Child, please.
You are in a great position right now because you want to deal with it. You want to
learn.
You want to learn. You
want to learn.
You want to learn. You want to continue to love your daughter. You want to be the same. So I must.
And that's another thing that's crazy to me. Like I said, you have gays all around you, I'm sure. What do y'all talk about? Just fluff stuff? Like superficial stuff? Like, why is it, these real conversations don't nobody want to have? And we all are challenged with that. I'm even challenged with that, in my own life. It's like, and even certain comments that I've heard within my own, family and stuff. It's just like, it's like, come on now. Come on.
You have every right as a mother and as a parent to feel this way about, this situation, to have these conflicting emotions and feelings about it. And I applaud you for not leaning over and saying, oh, I'm done with you. I'm finished with it.
No.
If it's not my way, the highway, I applaud you.
I may not be interested in meeting the girlfriend. I ain't got there yet.
It's going to take steps. And this is what I was going to say. Maybe Tami, and I think even in my age now, I'm 40. I'll be 44 this year. I still might need to do some counseling. I think that you might need to counsel through this, like with other parents who have LBGT or trans children. Have meetings to understand, like, and to let these emotions out. Mm-hmm. You need a space to let these emotions out and just put it out in the air and understand in conversation why is it now. I think that because my daughter is bisexual, lesbian, or anything, is she now going to? Am I not going to be a grandmother? And is she not?
That's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. All that is what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm saying. That's selfish. And I'm trying to get around that. And that's why I say, like with you in particular.
There's all kinds of ways to be a grandmother, a grandparent. And you got a whole nother daughter. I've always found that interesting. Parents who are multiple people's parents. They have multiple kids. And you tripping because you got 7 kids. Tami don't, but I'm saying in general. Let's say you got 7 kids. So you mad because one of them gay. You got 6 whole other kids. I mean, really. Either way, you got to keep pushing on and moving on, right? But you worried about one being gay. Like, find something. People need to busy themselves a little bit more. Some of y'all just need to pick up a regular 9 to 5. Because some of y'all is really too bored. I mean, really. And being LGBTQ has nothing to do with whether they're a good person or not. That has nothing. It's just a sexual preference. It's just, it's who they are. It's just, how you just wake up straight every day and go on about your business, but you don't have to say 10 times how straight you are. You don't have to talk about it. You're just not thinking about it. You just like who you like, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing, girl. I'm done with this video. It continued to went on. Tami basically said she gonna try, and shouts out to the TS. Love her. What was my coming out story? I didn't really have one. My folks kind of knew what time it was. And I did tell my mom. It was an emotional moment that we had. But she was just like, you're one of the best. You're the best son that I could ever dream of, and you know, I don't care. I'm gonna love you regardless. And whoop de whoop. And I had that conversation with her like 2 years ago, I think, or last year, one of them. She already knew. The family already knew. I mean, it is what it is at this point. Like, stop being in denial. Tami, you knew who your daughter was. Stop. I guess it's just a thing. Parents just want you to say it. But, you know, I also helped take care of my mom. So maybe if I didn't, maybe she'll have a different reaction. But I doubt it. I'm her only child. You know? And I mean, I'm the same person that I was. You know, I'm just now verbally telling you, you know, what time it is. But you, I mean, you already knew, child. So, yeah. You know, we're going to pray for Tami and all the parents around the world. I do understand that it is a difficult thing. But somewhere in your mind, like Maddie said, that unconditional love need to take over. And you also just need to go outside yourself. And just as difficult as it is for you, just imagine how difficult it is and will be for them. Come on now. And how lost, how empty will the young child be, even as an adult? Not that you need people's acceptance, but I mean, my God, if you don't, it's difficult if you don't at least have your family, you know, at least one family member that you can connect to on that kind of level, that just, you know, fool with you and that just love you no matter what and rock with you no matter what. I was going to say F with you no matter what. But y'all know. You too, child. So yeah, in the comment section, do I have any LGBTQIA WZINTOWUPI members? And y'all tell me in the comment section, y'all tell me y'all coming out sorry and stuff. But yeah, y'all tell me y'all coming out sorry. Shouts out to Jazz Anderson, you're beautiful. Living your truth, do you, and whoop to whoop. You heard Tami, I don't want to meet the girlfriend though, but you want to meet the boyfriend? The girl clearly said that she likes girls and boys. Like, what makes you already putting it in her head that, okay, well, I can't bring nobody home to mama, pretty much, you know? There's so much in the black community we just got to just tear apart, and just realize that most of this was brought on us by our oppressors. And once we realize that they, in general, not them individually, there's good people out there of all different shades, colors, races, but in general, they are the problem, we'll be so much better off. And just accept all of us of melanin is rich. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at This Kingsworld on Instagram and Twitter, at This Kingsworld89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, thank y'all for watching this long video. Run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye.